Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Thursday, October 24th, 2019. Earlier today, the Golden State Warriors played their first game in San Francisco since 1971. So more than 48 years. And notice the score of the first game in San Francisco in all this time. The Clippers beat the Warriors in San Francisco. They've been playing in Oakland. They're called the Golden State Warriors. Notice Golden State equals 122, like San Francisco equals 122, like how San Francisco's on the 122nd meridian. So the Warriors go down with 122, the Clippers win with 141, San Francisco, California equals 141. And this game was played October 24th, the day leaving 68 days left in the year, like San Francisco in basketball equals 68. Now, just days ago, I talked about the death of Mark Hurd, the CEO of Oracle. The Warriors played in Oracle Arena before, now the new building's Chase Arena. Mark Hurd was dead at 62, a number we often see around suspicious deaths. If you missed that video, check it out. I have two up, one from my cell phone and a video with a little bit more information that I made once I had a chance to get to my desktop. And at the end of the cell phone video, if you watch it, I guess 3 minutes and 55 seconds into the video, you get to this point, this is what I say at the end. Listen. And I've made this same point hundreds of times over the last 5 years about the number 122 in the Warriors. But listen to all this right here.
And for you Warriors fans, remember the other year when your record home winning streak was snapped at 54 games? Notice, Oracle 54. See the 108? Pay attention to how often the Warriors win with 108 points, 122 points, 121 points. Warriors is 121.
So 108, 121, 122. And again, Oracle equaled 108. So they don't play in Oracle anymore, so maybe those days will be over. But again, this was the live video I made on my cell phone when the breaking news was the death of the Oracle CEO at 62. But again, it's a point I make all the time about the Bay Area, their sports teams, especially Golden State. And just watch how often Golden State wins with 122, 121. Have to look up the gematria of the Chase Center or whatever their new stadium's called, because maybe that value will become important. But again and again, the same repetitive patterns. And for the person who says, but how do they make it happen? Again, scripted theater, and they are using technology in the NBA to ensure outcomes. Kawhi Leonard shot last year to beat the Philadelphia 76ers, which Vince Carter couldn't do. Go back and look at that shot. And if you're following us on Patreon, we were showing how that whole series was synced up with Kawhi Leonard. So, anyway, this knowledge, it's undeniable. And because it is undeniable, there really is a massive campaign to smear this work in me. If you're familiar with the site RationalWiki, they attack like bigger known conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones and David Icke. But if you look at most of the people on YouTube, they don't have one made about them. Well, guess who does? Yours truly. And it's a long one written by the same trolls that attack my Patreon page all day, because the RationalWiki is written the exact same way that they troll. And it just goes to show, there's a lot of resources being dedicated to trying to squash this work, which is undeniable. The RationalWiki says that I'm a crackpot that just tries to connect a million different things after the fact. Totally false. So many correct predictions. I just said that October 18th. It's 6 days later. It only took 6 days to validate exactly what I predicted. And let's go back and listen one more time. What did I say? I said, I bet you in the first game they win with 121, 122, or maybe 108, because Oracle's 108. But I forgot the name of the new stadium's not 108. Last year they won with 108 points in Oracle to start the season. So, again, it's all very predictable. I'm just going to play it one more time. Fast forward a little bit ahead.
Home winning streak was snapped at 54 games. Notice, Oracle 54. See the 108? Pay attention to how often the Warriors win with 108 points, 122 points, 121 points.
Just like I said. And then, hold on, I make one more statement.
Here's is 121. It's very repetitive. Wouldn't be surprised if they open the season winning with one of those three scores.
Wouldn't be surprised if they open the season with one of those three scores. And you know what? If you would have made me pick which of those three, I would have picked a 122 because it's the first game in San Francisco, right? Just makes too much sense. So, and that was the focus of that video because Mark Hurd, the man who died, again, his name equals 122. Mark Hurd, 122. Again, this was the 74th NBA season. He died on the day, leaving 74 days left in the year, like Oakland, California, 74, like Zion Williamson, like how the opening game was in Toronto, Ontario, 74. But Mark Hurd, that's what prompted that video, his death. And if anybody out there follows Mark Passio, I'll show you something about Mark Passio. See how Mark Passio sums to 122 and 67? He's an admitted former member of the Satanic Church. Notice Satanic 67 and 122. See my work on the death of the DC Talk rapper's son, who just died a day after his 55th birthday. The artist's 55th birthday. His son was 21. They haven't given out a reason for why he died. Check my video out on that. But see how Satanic's 122 and 50? Look at San Francisco. Just like how San Francisco was once 5-0 in Super Bowls, hosted Super Bowl 50. This year they became 5-0 before facing Washington. We saw the Patriots get to 5-0 against Washington. Anyway, getting off on too many tangents, but let me close up with one last thing. I just made a video on this. If you want to come read my blog post, there's a whole lot more information here, but again, I just want to make something real clear. In the news today, October 24th, you have the disappearance of Walt Harris's daughter. You know, it's one of the stories right now. And from his birthday to the day is 137 days. His current record in the UFC is 13-7, right? 13-7, like 137. Very special numbers. Watch the last video I put out. But check this out. His daughter who's missing, her name equals 147, like Ultimate Fighting Championship. And in his next fight, if he wins, he would be what? He would be 14-7, right? And this death comes 44 days before that fight. And again, that's a number connected to death and killing that shows up around these rituals of people who are definitely, nowhere near their time. Again and again, there's the same numerical pattern, 44. And come read the blog post because the fight's on December 7th. Execution's 44, but it's also 127. So a lot of information here, but again and again, the same types of repetitive patterns in sports. The deaths of people that are synced up with events. Sometimes it's a person like Mark Hurd. Sometimes it's the actual athlete themselves, like in the case of Walt Harris. All right, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.